Hey, happy damn new year to you, Cancer, my lunar brothers and sisters. Look at this. So I said that there would be things coming back. I said that there would be new stuff in the new year. Here we are. Now, with that said, I had so many emails, so many messages, so many direct messages, plenty of you in the comments as well. I am back. I'm bringing you stuff. All right. So stay tuned for it. Now, with that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So 2025, here we go. All right, so for January, now from the 1st through to the 3rd, really, Mars is going to be in that direct opposition to Pluto. So the first transit that I want to explore for you is that. There's no getting around the fact that this one is a wee bit intense. Now, the sun isn't actually in your sign, but I like to put it there at the start so everybody knows who this reading is for, just in case I end up saying the wrong thing and all the rest of it. Now, remember, whenever I'm talking about astrology, the sun is actually here at this moment in time. Whenever I'm talking about astrology, I'm talking about whole sign tropical Western astrology, for those of you that would like to know. Now, that being said, Mars retrograde in the sign of Leo is opposing Pluto in the sign of Aquarius, right? So pretty big deal, pretty big moment at this moment in time. Now, for you personally, this is across your 2nd house and your 8th house axis. This is financial disputes and potentially anxieties that come to the forefront at this moment in time. Mars retrograde is going to stir up things in that 2nd house around your income, around your values, around your self-worth as well, right? Now, remember, when a planet goes retrograde, its energy tends to be that much more insular or inward facing. Pluto is opposing that in your 8th house of shared resources and emotional depths. And it suggests that these two things could involve, so this whole sort of experience that gets a bit tense could involve financial disputes, maybe around joint finances, potentially around debts. It could also be around inheritances as well, right? Things to do with estates. If you've got anything like that going on and it's been a bit of a slog, this could exacerbate something like that. It could even be an emotional toxic tie that needs to be severed in some way. It's likely that you'll be feeling more sensitive than usual, right? Especially because the intensity of this transit might push you to confront issues that you've avoided for some time around money and maybe even around self-worth. A physical outlet like organizing your space, grounding exercises could help release some of the tension. A physical outlet, or maybe even looking at your possessions, right? And your, what you value and why. Maybe even, switching up your diet, because this is Mars retrograde in the 2nd. 2nd house is what we eat. It's food. You could be releasing or getting rid of things from your diet that don't really help you. It's potentially like the deeper healing that will come through from addressing your relationship with security. Right? Both financial security and emotional security. It's a powerful moment for you to set new boundaries, especially if someone has control or influence on or around your finances and that's been weighing on you in some way. It's time for you to take back your power, even if it feels uncomfortable. And remember, this is about transforming your relationship with abundance and money and resources and letting go of what is getting in the way of you having or holding on to that experience. So let's see what the cards are saying for this and get some insight from the tarot. So for this one, you have the Ace of Swords. So it really does need to be a self-led decision, like that comes from within. You've got this with the Magician card. This is about you rewriting or writing a new story. This is about creating a new financial narrative for yourself. And that comes with the Seven of Wands. This may be that there's some new viewpoint around money or resources that you really have to fight for, that you have to kind of go in and say, this is not going to be my experience. And where this involves another person, other people, etc., you have to get really honest, right? Especially because The fifth house is ruled by Mars for you, and where are you? Oh gosh, here we go. And the 10th house is also ruled by Mars for you. So this could be like a moment of, actually, I'm breaking out from somebody else's perspective on this, or I'm breaking out from underneath someone and I'm taking the reins from here. Pluto for you also rules your 5th house as well. So it may be as well, like, because the 5th house is speculative endeavors and gambles and stocks and shares and stuff like that. It may be that you kind of decide to say to yourself, you know what, I need to get rid of my adverseness towards making money through other. There's something in this around being able to make money easily from things that you don't have to be personally there for or invested in. Something on an internal level, maybe an old script, maybe something that somebody said to you, like, oh, well, you tried to do that before and it didn't make any money. Like, fuck you, I'm going to try again. So what, right? Every moment of every day is a time for us to reinvent ourselves or our lives. So I love this for you. But yeah, it does look like you're going to have to rewrite that story and maybe, stop somebody from holding you back as that story is being rewritten by you. Now, on the 3rd of the month, Venus is going to enter the sign of Pisces. So she's coming into that 9th house. She's going to join Saturn. She's going to join Neptune. Excuse me. Venus in Pisces is exalted, and she's activating that 9th house of higher learning, travel, wisdom, spirituality. It's more like your belief structure and your higher philosophical thought, though, right? And your whatever your religion is. And, we all have one to some extent, whether it's a lifestyle like paganism, etc. It's still a belief system, which is still in essence or some way, shape or form. It's a religion of sorts, not in the, I'm going to browbeat you with my holy book kind of way, but you get my point. Venus brings a sweet and dreamy energy to this area. Remember, she is exalted in Pisces, and this can manifest as the return to a long forgotten dream to travel or to study something meaningful. It might be that you get that much more joy from learning at this moment in time. It could be that reading something or learning something at this time inspires your own creativity and for you to get out there and start doing more of this. It could be that you reconnect with a teacher or a mentor or a spiritual guide, or you decide to start becoming this for yourself, and you get that much more pleasure from being a teacher, a guide, a coach, a mentor, a guru of some sort. Now, Venus for you rules the 4th house, also rules the 11th house and your 4th house is your emotional foundations, and this could bring a sense of peace and healing to your inner world, which I absolutely love for you. I will say, be open to the messages that come in the form of a rekindled belief in some way, or maybe even, Venus in the 9th house. This could be that you lean more on your belief system and it bears the weight. There's a Stevie Nicks song called, if you've ever seen Practical Magic, if you're anything like me, obsessed. I can't wait for part 2. 20 something years later, we're finally getting our sequel that we deserve. But if you've seen that film, there's a song by Stevie Nicks, and in that song the lyrics are special knowledge holds true, bears believing, right? And so that Venus in the 9th house, there could be you leaning more on your faith, more on your spirituality, more on the belief that your life can and will get better and improve. To hell with whatever the news is saying and people in your life, and oh, that's Pollyanna positivity or whatever. Fuck that. If your belief can bear the weight of your faith, then that is all that you need, right? And if this Venus transit is going to do that for you, more power to you, baby. Lean into it, right? You are my lunar brothers and sisters after all, so we're going for it. Now, that being said, if you've been holding on to a toxic belief or a habit that undermines your spiritual sense of self-worth, this could be where you could really be undoing that. Remember, Venus brings healing and ease wherever she goes, and she's offering a gentle nudge, not a push or a shove. This isn't Mars, right? This is Venus. She's offering a gentle nudge to say, we can release that now, right? It's a beautiful time to reflect on what really brings you peace and really what aligns your heart with your sense of a higher purpose on a spiritual level. And it also gives you a time to understand how the knowledge and the fruits of that knowledge and wisdom are going to create the life that you truly desire for yourself. Might even be that you connect with somebody in a foreign place that helps you see things in a really wonderful way. Now for this, you've got the Four of Pentacles. Okay, I'll see you. With the Ace of Cups and the Chariot card. So the Chariot is you. This really says to me that there is a change of heart that happens because you choose for it to happen, right? This is like because that Four of Pentacles, yes, it can be stuck and stagnant and all the rest of it, but actually sometimes it can be holding to what really does feel right and good and supportive to you. But this with the Ace of Cups, it's like there's a change of heart here, or a holding to something in the heart that allows change, that allows wisdom, and more importantly, allows victory, right? I love this for you, especially that Ace of Cups with the Chariot card, because this is you envisioning yourself in a new way and potentially envisioning the strongest, like if you've seen The Witcher, you know, where Tessaya de Vries says to Yennefer, she says, look in the mirror, she says, imagine the most powerful woman in the world, right? So whether you're man, woman, however you identify, this is about you reclaiming yourself and understanding how your beliefs and your special knowledge and wisdom can truly be power. Love it. Just absolutely love this. I wouldn't be surprised as well, actually, if within the first week of the month, a lot of you are either presented with an opportunity to travel or are planning a trip of some sort. You could have like a moment where you're like, I don't have the money for this, but fuck it, I'm doing it. Hey, listen, I'm here for it. For the next transit, but before we get into that, your Astro Tarot scopes are up and out there for your purchasing pleasure. There's a link on the description box below. If you want to get those. For those of you that are interested, on the 8th, circa the 8th of January, give or take a day wherever you are in the world, I will be releasing a very limited set of slots, 15 in total. You'll be able to work with me one-to-one, and I won't be doing any Zoom sessions besides these, I might add, until April. There's a lot going on behind the scenes in the Reydiant reality universe. So if you want to get like an actual one-to-one session with me over Zoom, this one's going to be like 2.5 to 3 hours long. Trust me, we're getting into it. We're going to plan your year right the way through. All right. So if you're interested in that, you want to get a really good overview set down and set forth, this is your time to book that. And then the next slots of the work with me for 3 months, I'll be releasing close to the end of this month. All right. Because we'll be starting in February and we're hitting the ground running. I got lots of really great feedback from the last group. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned because those will be coming. I'm telling you now, because they sell out really fast, and I keep them limited. It's not just to create like a buzz or scarcity. I keep them small, these limited runs, because I know how much I'm able to give and I know how much I want to give. And I really want to give you the best of my time and the best quality of work that I can give you. The fewer people I do that for, the better it is, because it's a more concentrated version of my power and ability for you guys, okay? So there's always a thought process behind that. It's not just like, oh, well, just sell a few so that you can bump up the price. I'm not interested in that, right? But as I say, until April, there won't be any Zoom sessions or anything like that. So if you're wanting to get a session with me where you're actually in front of me and can ask me questions and stuff, these are the two offerings that I will have for you outside of courses. All right, so the next transit that I want to talk about is Mars. On the 6th of January is going to re-enter your sign, or should I say our sign, my moon sign. Mars coming back into the first house is putting a spotlight on your personal identity. how you assert yourself, how you use your willpower, your personal power, and your energy is coming up for review. This transit might feel especially intense or that much more personal. Mars retrograde highlights frustrations or insecurities that have been holding you back. You're being called to address how you challenge how you channel your energy. Are you acting from a place of anger and frustration or personal empowerment? You're being forced to really examine this. Is it just a knee-jerk reaction? And the truth of the matter is, we're in a Mars-ruled year. If you haven't seen my numerology overview for 2025, there's a link for that in the description box below. Make sure you check it out. It's important information to have for this year. I will give you a heads up. It is a very long video. It's like an hour and 15 minutes this year. Trust me, I went in on that video because I understand how big a year this is going to be, and I really wanted to prepare people for it. Since Mars is retrograding back into your sign and is going to spend an unusually long time in your sign, I think the last time we had Mars retrograde in Cancer was like, it's something crazy like 20 plus years ago. No, I think it's about, I can't remember the exact number, but it wasn't anytime soon. And then prior to that, the last time that it was a retrograde that started in Leo and reversed back into Cancer wasn't until, like, the last time that happened was like 1978, I think, or give or take. I can't remember the exact dates. So it's a pretty big deal. Mars for you rules your 5th house of creativity, joy, pleasure, and romance, and it also rules your 10th house of career. It could bring unresolved issues around those areas of your life. It's really an excellent time to focus on your self-care, to declutter your emotional landscape, to really think about and redefine your connection to what we call luck and aliveness, right? And I'm not talking about life, I'm talking about aliveness, where you feel like, I'm alive, my heart beats, I sweat, I fucking feel things, right? Cancer feels at an incredible depth. This is a chance for you to examine that. Where is, if you've seen the Avatar series, The Last Airbender, and I'm talking about the cartoon here, for those of you that are hardcore nerds like me. Netflix was good. It was amazing to see it come to real life, but the real juice was in the cartoon, right? There's a few episodes in that where Aang learns to work with his chakras and how to unblock them. This could be showing you where your feelings, Cancer, are blocked, where they're stagnant, where you know, if you've been with me long enough, you'll have heard me say, where you need to take the shell off and give it, you know, the Cancer shell, our little Cancer cave, it can get fusty from time to time. So sometimes you've got to take off the shell and give it a good wash. All right, like, it's just real talk. Be mindful of not overexerting yourself at this time, as Mars retrograde can sap the energy if you're not careful. For those of you that know, I put my fucking back out de-seeding a melon. Ow, that was a nice crack. But, like, seriously, and when people were like, oh, were you carrying it funny or whatever? No, I was de-seeding a melon and I felt something go... And yeah, that took me a week and a half to get over properly. And for 4 of those days, I wasn't actually able to walk properly without sort of blinding pain. So there's that. Reflect. The last thing that I want to say to you is reflect on how you present yourself to the world and make adjustments that align with what you understand to be your authentic self. All right, for this transit, you got the 10 of Wands. You're walking away from something here. You're walking away from some past version of yourself, and you are committing to your future. And you're also committing to dreams and goals and wishes and desires that you promised yourself a long time ago, but maybe got sidetracked by life or whatever it was from having or going after. This is a return back to what is actually really, truly important to you as you decide it for yourself. Love that for you. And then for the last transit, the North Node will move into Pisces. You're going to have to envision the South Node here in Virgo, because the other one went up the Hoover. very frustratingly, and I couldn't find it no matter how much I looked through that damn bag. The other thing with this axis for you is across your 3rd and your 9th house axis, right? So this is really, in a lot of ways, it's about your mind. It's highlighting your communications, conversations, and exploration. That North Node moving into Pisces, into your 9th house, is inviting you to expand your horizons, whether this is through travel, higher education, some kind of spiritual growth pursuit. It's a time for you to trust your intuition and follow your curiosity into bigger and bolder horizons that you've never traveled, but to boldly go where no man or woman has ever gone before. This is the time for that. You might feel called to connect with foreign cultures, dive into a study that inspires your soul in some way, find a coach, a mentor, or a guru. Now, this 9th house is your belief structure as well, right? And I talked about that earlier, about it bearing the weight, or with that Venus transit of bearing the weight. You've got 18 months of this transit, so it's a pretty big deal. With this, I also want to say the North Node is about what you're pulling in, what you're sucking and pulling into, what you're driven to create more of, or to have more of in your life. And the South Node is about what you're releasing, moving away from, excreting, denying, getting rid of, releasing, all of that good stuff. Now that South Node, just so that you don't have to imagine, that South Node in the sign of Virgo in your 3rd house is asking you to release habits of overthinking, micromanaging your interactions, right? Are you holding on to grudges or trying too hard to be perfect in how you communicate? This is getting rid of all of that. And if you are a content creator, whether this is writing, speaking, videos, etc., if you do anything like that, that South Node in the 1st can help you get rid of that perfectionism, like, oh, I can't put this out because it's not perfect, or it doesn't look like theirs, or it da-da-da-da-da-da. Fuck that. Get the stuff out, right? Make it look pretty and all the rest of it later down the line. It's the content that people care about, right? Truth be told, truthfully speaking. And I say this all the time. I started Reydiant Reality with when I say this iPad was beat down, I mean, it was beat down, right? I had to hold it up with 1,000 different books in all kinds of weird positions just to get it to sit right. I was living in literally like a single room that was like a prison cell. Like, seriously. Don't look, and I'm really glad that the South Node is here, because it's going to help you get rid of that, right? This need for everything to be perfect before you put it out. This is a time to let go of mental clutter, to embrace a more flowing and intuitive way of connecting with others, of letting your words kind of flow without sort of trapping those words and questioning yourself to within an inch of your life about whether what you just said is right or wrong or whatever. It might also help you revisit old skills or knowledge and decide which ones serve you and which ones you're actually ready to release now. For this nodal shift, you got the Devil card. So you know what you're ready to release, right? Whatever has been a crutch up until now. Oh, well, I use self-deprecating humour. I'm talking to myself here, by the way. I use self-deprecating humour to soften the mood. Or actually, is it just that you're insecure about what you're saying? Okay, I hear you. Being out here calling me out on my bullshit. Like, tarot out here, you need to mind your business, bruv. You've got this with the Two of Wands. This, the Devil card, is in the way of your most affluent self, right? Of the most aligned version of you, right? Where you procrastinate. That's coming from, well, it's not good enough yet. When actually, you're a fucking expert at what you do, right? King of Swords, hello, right? Quite literally. It could also be that there will be an air sign male, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, hi, on your path that literally says to you, what are you doing? Why are you holding yourself back? Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's time for you to make something happen, right? I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it. That North Node as well in Pisces, last thing that I want to say about this, because it's in Pisces and it's in the ninth house, this could call you to find new ways for you to connect with the cosmos, whether this is through prayer, meditation, whatever it is. Some new spiritual practice comes in and it solidifies your belief system or structure to and for you. All right, so your full moon, and it will literally be your full moon, will be taking place on the 13th of the month, and this is in your first house. You will be the most visible that you are at almost any time of the year besides when the sun is in your sign, right? This is a full moon. It's conjunct Mars retrograde, so it's helping you get rid of some outdated or outmoded idea or belief of self. It's sextile to Uranus, right? Which means that a friend or a benefactor could have something to do with what is revealed to you about yourself at this time. And as if that wasn't enough, it's going to be trine to the North Node and Neptune, which brings a healing quality to it. And the ninth house is a house of healing as well. So I love this for you. I actually think that it could be a really wonderful full moon in that regard. Look at that, the gate 19 and sensitivity. The message behind this card is that sensitivity is your superpower, and for you, Cancer, that is most definitely true. It's also a message to say that you are in transformation, and 19 is a very lucky number. Now, this full moon, it's deeply personal to you. It's going to highlight and illuminate your first house of identity, self-expression. The Mars retrograde conjunct the moon might stir up some frustration about how you've been presenting yourself or how others perceive you. And it may be that you see how others perceive you and then you go, oh shit, girl, that don't work for me no more, right? And so you start to cut that away and release it. I love that. I really love that. It can also be that you're letting go of limiting self-concepts, right? How you see yourself, how you present yourself. You're about to come into that time where you're starting to get rid of this idea of what other people think of you and how important that is or is not. It's a time for you to release old patterns or emotional baggage, and that Uranus in the 11th house as well is pushing you to think outside the box and embrace your uniqueness. The gate 19 and sensitivity, listen to yourself, trust yourself like never before. All right, and then on the 28th of the month, we will have the new moon, the 29th of the month, we'll have the new moon in the sign of Aquarius in your 8th house. All right. I said it earlier, right? And here you go. You got the gate 55 in abundance. This new moon is going to really help you as a cycle that unfolds. Remember, it's a new moon. So you plant the seeds at the new moon and then you get the fruits later on. Probably around July, August. This new moon lights up your 8th house of transformation, shared resources and money, and deep emotional healing. And it's forming a trine to Jupiter retrograde, right? Here in your 12th house. There's a decidedly very spiritual energy about this. Your psychic antenna for what is a good deal, what could be really good for you, could be really potent at this time. It's a great time to set intentions of letting go what no longer serves you with its emotional baggage, financial entanglements, toxic patterns, all of that stuff. The part of fortune in connection to this as well means that there's blessings related to financial support, loan approval, inheritance, investment return, tax returns, all of that kind of stuff could be really, really nice for you. Now, as I say, you're planting the seeds for this now. This will unfold over time, but I think because the 8th house is the house of transformation and crisis and conflict and challenge, I think this is going to give you the push and the impetus that you need to remove what is blocking your abundance. And so you will start to step into this in a really powerful way. You'll gain a much deeper insight as well into your personal emotional world, and it will also help you heal and transform and Trust that this new moon is really clearing the way for greater alignment and definitely greater abundance. With that said, let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Check the links in the description box below. You know what's coming, you know what's going to be good. It would be an amazing time to work with you. And with that said, let me know in the comments how this stuff shapes up for you and the year ahead. With that said, take care and I'll see you soon. It's good to be back.